Hello, I'm Sergeant First Class Brent Powell with the 76th Operational Response Command. Today I'm coming to you from the Muscatatuck Urban Training Center, just outside of Butlerville, Indiana. Now, Muscatatuck is where the U.S. Army North hosts its exercise Guardian Response each year. Guardian Response is an exercise set up to test and validate U.S. Army units responding to chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear catastrophes. Let's go find out more about exercise Guardian Response. One of the key units involved in the Guardian Response exercise are Army engineers.
The unit out here right now is the 409th Engineers from Aurora, Colorado. They are part of a major rescue effort that's taking place as part of this exercise. All right, we are simulating this rubble pile as a collapsed structure in South Carolina, which the overarching scenario for the FTX has as the target area of a terrorist blast. So we not only have a radiation threat, but we have a collapsed structure. So the 409th is an urban search and rescue unit, technically trained, just like their civilian counterparts in FEMA, that are trained to not only deal in a radiological environment, but also to do technical rescue. And technical rescue is what we're doing right now. We have a total of 10 victims trapped in these collapsed structures, all alive, right? And the unit now is going through individual rescue techniques. What's important, because this unit, is on mission for this mission for 24 months. And they are on standby if the Department of Defense is called for by civilian authorities to reinforce civilian authorities in a real world disaster. So this is not a training exercise that we'll never see this again. On the worst day, they will be called.
In addition to the engineers, another key unit being evaluated in Guardian Response are the soldiers from chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear, or CBRN units, who are responsible for chemical decontamination.
What you see out here is mass casualty decon. So early this morning we established what the double background hot zone was. The MCD, as you see out here, was established from that line, and right now we're processing non-ambulatory and ambulatory casualties. We have role players out here that are replicating that from this disaster. What we are actually in right now by scenario is South Carolina, a major city, and we're replicating that here at Muscatatuck. Because of the NORTHCOM mission under Army North, we have to make sure that we get trained and ready forces. Part of the technical aspect of it, which is what we do, is ensure that they have the soldiers have all the technical skills needed to conduct this mission. Once they come on mission 1 June, they can be called out at any time for a catastrophic event. That's if a 10 or 15K small device nukes goes off in a major city. We know that the first responders will be overwhelmed in a certain amount of time. So our job is to make sure that both the Guard and Reserve forces and the active duty are prepared and trained to come in and provide that assistance. With our top line thing is to save lives and mitigate suffering.
Guardian Response really evaluates and tests the capabilities of 3 specific types of Army units: engineers, chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear companies, and medical units.
So when the patients come through at the casualty collection point, there's an initial triage that happens. We call it a rapid triage. The patients are processed through the decontamination line, and then there's another triage that occurs there, a more proficient and true triage that happens. They can treat a variety, anything from trauma to some minor medical scenarios that would be happening, really anything. This is probably the most realistic training that I have had the pleasure of experiencing. I'm on the current Cree Alpha mission year, and this experience that we got here at MUTC was probably the biggest eye-opening experience that we would be caring for our brothers and sisters on America's worst day.
Reporting from the Muscatatuck Urban Training Center, I'm Sergeant First Class Brent Powell.